If you want to be able to sell high ticket offers, stay for this first piece, and I promise you it only gets better from there on. I want to give you really amazing next level pieces that are absolutely going to take your business, regardless of what industry you're in, to a whole new level right now.
Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business.
Hello, gorgeous beings, and welcome to today's podcast, Cosmic Money, here with your host, me. I'm Skye. Hello. It's amazing to have you here. I'm super excited to be bringing you another most amazing episode. And today we're really talking about, something that's a little bit near and dear to my heart, which is this idea that ain't nobody got time for a basic bitch, right? Ain't nobody got time for a basic bitch. And especially when we're talking about online. So if you are an online entrepreneur, a business owner, investor in any way, shape, or form, then let me tell you, this episode is for you. So I want to help you in a few different ways to take your business to the next level. I want to help you be able to connect even deeper to your most ideal clients. I want you to have leads on tap, sales with ease, guilt-free, time off. I want you to be wildly profitable, and soul aligned all in the same, breath. All right. And so to do that, you need to take things to a whole other level. All right. So let's talk about a few different concepts today, all in and around. Everybody breathe for a second. We're talking about niching. But when I first learned niche market, that kind of thing in, when I was studying business, it was boring as fuck. Like, honestly, that is just the only way that I could describe it. I was like, oh my God, we have to do client avatar again. Or, oh my gosh, we're going to talk about niching and niching down. I don't want to bring you the same boring bullshit that you've probably heard 100 times over, from other business sources and business mentors. And maybe you've, filled in a form or read an article or something like that. I want to give you really amazing, next level, usable pieces that are absolutely going to take your business, regardless of what industry you're in, to a whole new level right now. All right. So let me just say this to preface. If you have done niching and avatar, and different things like that before, what I ask of you is this: stay here for at least this first little section out of about 4 different things that I'm going to be telling you today. Stay for this first section. If this piece, alone blows your brain and shows you exactly how you're going to be able to take things to a whole other level, exactly how you're going to be able to be banked as fuck, then stay for the rest of it as well. All right. But stay for this first piece, and I promise you it only gets better from there on. All right. So what I want to talk to you about first is something that we call niche 2.0. All right. Now I have to give an amazing mentor of mine, Sasha, some credit for this one, because I'm going to use his explanation and his example. And he is actually somebody that we will be getting on our podcast in the next few months, which is super exciting as well. So niche 2.0, all right? How do we take what it is that we're already doing to a whole new level? And why is it that we would want to do that? Okay. So his example is dog beds. All right. Now you could have a pet store online. All right. You could have a pet store online, come one, come all, buy some bird feed or buy I don't even know what they're called, cat stand or something, buy some dog toys and treats. Like, you can get a fish over there. You can get, all the different, why not buy a horse while you're at it online? I don't know if that happens. All right. But you could have a generalist store. Okay, that has everything come one, come all in relation to pets. Now, if we start niching that down, What actually happens, the magic of this is, there's this amazing saying you've probably heard me say before in marketing that, if we speak to many people, no one hears us. If we speak to one person, then many hear us. So if we start our business or, if we're scaling and growing our business where we can really dial it in and get super key direct messaging and take our business like niche 2.0 level, fuck yes to that. That is going to be an absolute game changer for you. All right. So let's have a look. We've got our pet store. If we start to niche that down, what might be the next level? We could sell dog beds. All right. We're just going to pick one thing. We are the go-to online store for dog beds. All right. But what if we niche that down some more? Maybe we sell, anti-anxiety dog beds. All right, anti-anxiety dog beds. Wow, we've taken what was like this pet store. Now we've gone, okay, let's actually just really niche down and pick one specific thing that is going to be amazing next level, draw in like a crowd, right? And we've said, okay, we'll do dog beds. But then we've taken it a step further and said, let's do anti-anxiety dog beds. And now we can even take it one step further again where we say, let's do anti-anxiety luxury dog beds. And now we have a niche 2.0. Now we have a very amazing next level marketplace that we get to lean into. And from that place, you get to be even more creative, with your messaging, with your marketing, with, the imagery and things like that. And it works as well. Like, again, if you're a service-based business, not just, commerce, it's like, cool, how can we take what it is that you're doing already and take it to another level? So this is the example that I normally give, and we call this niche market advantage, all right? So I'm going to use the fitness industry, but again, if you're a coach or you're a service provider of any kind, maybe you do some sessions, maybe you have a program and some offerings, I promise you this niche 2.0 or niche market advantage will help you get even more dialed in and be able to call in even more of your most ideal clientele, all right? So niche market advantage is, let's say we have a weight loss program. All right. It's a very general, weight loss program. Come one, come all. All right. Come and join. We've all seen many gyms do this. If we then take that to another level, it could be something like, a weight loss program for females aged 35 to 40. All right, awesome. That niche down pretty quick, right? Like we've got weight loss. We're now doing just females, like awesome. And we're doing it for, the age bracket of 30 to 40 because, that might be a really particular thing. Losing weight at 20 is going to be really different to losing weight at 60. And, we're just going to hit smack bang in the middle there. So let's say, we want to niche this down some more. We have a weight loss program for females aged 35 to 40 who are shift workers. See how we're getting even more, like dialed in and specific? And maybe you can even have a weight loss program for females aged 35 to 40 that are shift working nurses with autoimmune disease. Right? This is how you take what was already good and you make it great, right? This is how you go from being a generalist, right, a GP, and you start to become a specialist.
I've spent my life obsessed with the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. I've literally traveled the world trying to crack the code. And what I've found is that when you couple the pursuit of making massive amounts of money with the strategy and science of success, plus having a desire for significant impact and contribution, magic happens. That's why I created a free 21-day next level vortex money mission magic. Hell yes to that. This 21-day quantum business challenge is here to shift you into new timelines and realities. 21 days to quantum shift your impact, business, and your bank account. These carefully crafted and channeled tools are the exact things I've used to create a life beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm not done yet. If you're ready for incredible transformation now in all areas of your life, more money and financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of lifestyle, freedom of choice, better, more connected relationships, greater levels of health, and simply calling in more magic into every single day, then these 21 days are going to blow your mind. 21 days of powerful universal, behavioral, and strategic tools to quantum shift your internal state so that you start to see massive changes in your external reality, bringing the metaphysical into the physical. Join the challenge now and get ready for the most powerful 21-day expansion to quantum shift your impact, business, bank account, and your life. Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business.
And if you can dial your offers, whether it's a product or a program, if you can dial your offers in that way and say, okay, how can we create a movement around a particular thing? And it's okay. Like if you're way deep into your business, and you're already doing a bunch of different things. You've got some offers here and there. You're really used to serving like a variety of people. I still highly suggest that you get in there and you be even more specific in at least in a particular area for a little while. And if you can just keep, excuse my languaging, but ramming home the same messaging again and again and again and again, you are going to be known as the go-to brand, the go-to expert, the go-to place for that particular thing. Anti-anxiety, luxury dog beds, right? Now, here's a bit of a kicker, okay? What you can then do next is what we call lateral or horizontal diversification. Lateral or horizontal diversification, all right? Now, lateral or vertical, diversification is literally when you take the same product and you're like, okay, how can we, adapt this amazing thing that is potentially already working? We've got a marketplace for it. It's proven. We've niched down, niche 2.0, niche market advantage, whichever way you want to look at it, right? If we take this thing, to another level, we go, okay, we've got anti-anxiety luxury dog beds, that are now in pink. Right? I promise you, there are luxury buyers out there who will literally buy that dog bed because it's, maybe fluffy and pink, right? Now, lateral diversification. So instead of just having this one product, we've actually added, some kind of, option or something like that, right? And you can do it as well, like within your, within a program or that kind of framework too. Okay. But I'm just going to keep using the dog bed as an example for a second. So luxury dog beds, it could be you change the material. So it's a different kind of material, a different color, but quintessentially at its core, it's still a dog bed. All right. That's lateral diversification. Now, horizontal diversification is where you take the, idea of we've got an anti-anxiety luxury dog bed and we're going to go horizontally with it, which could now mean let's implement something like anti-anxiety supplementation for dogs. All right. So you're taking the same theme, but you're actually creating horizontally another avenue, that is still in line with the original idea. However, it sits differently to what it is. All right. And in that regard as well, you could then have, vertical or lateral diversification of the supplements. Right. Or you could pick something else like a anti-anxiety luxury dog bowl. Okay, so you can see where we're going here, all right? The idea, though, first and foremost, is to become a specialist in a particular thing first. So sometimes you hear people say, no, you don't have to niche and things like that. Look, if you're here hanging out with me, I do not subscribe to that way of thinking. Like, I just don't. And to be honest with you, this is something that I've had to journey in my own, business and career, because at the end of the day, if you've ever heard my full, my full introduction to myself, right? I am a multimodality health professional. What that means is if you basically pick some kind of, like health, fitness, nutrition, mindset, NLP, hypnosis, all these different things, right? Like it is most likely that I have a qualification in it. Okay. I'm a multimodality health professional. What I also truly love and I'm qualified in is business. Business is training, assessing, creating programs, helping support people scale and grow and marketing and lead generation, all the different things. Take a breath, right? So you can see that range of skill set could absolutely work quite broadly across multiple different fields, with all kinds of different people, right? In all kinds of different frames. And so, even in that regard, I, over the years have had to niche in a way that feels really aligned with me and what I love doing and what I want to promote and how I support people, and bring that in line so that my messaging and my marketing is out there, reaching the appropriate people so that, my soul client avatars can absolutely well, as words that I'm after, feel in, like they can identify. There we go, you guys. We remembered the word. So they can identify into my offerings, and so that we can repel people who are not, our most ideal soul clients. All right. So just have a breath for a moment and think about whatever it is that you're doing or wherever it is that your brain and mindset is at right now. Are you being a generalist where maybe your messaging is a bit, these are the symptoms, right? Like your messaging is a bit lukewarm, and it's not really resonating with anyone. That could be a symptom. You're not getting a lot of engagement, in the content that you're putting out there online. That would be another symptom that maybe you're being too much of a generalist, right? The next thing would be that you don't really have like a really good, solid, consistent lead flow. Too much of a generalist, right? And perhaps, selling, like you're getting a lot of people when you're on the phone, whatever it might be, and they're like, oh, I don't know, like I might just have to think about that. Or again, if you're like if you're an online store or e-commerce or things along those lines, you seem to have a lot of people that are putting things into the cart, but maybe they're just not clicking the button to buy. Right? And why would they be doing that? Because they don't understand why it is that you or your particular, product or program is the absolute bee's knees answer, solution to whatever it is that their problem is. All right. And generally, they are signs and symptoms that you're being too much of a generalist. And let me tell you, at the end of the day, what did I say? Ain't nobody got time for a basic bitch. Right? So, that's just the first part, you guys. That is step number 1, is niche 2.0, or what we also call niche market advantage. All right. I want to talk to you now then about something that is called the value equation. And the value equation, this is an abbreviated version from Alex Hormozi. Many of you would know him, like god of entrepreneurship at the moment. And he has something called the value equation. And mine is a more simplified version. All right. Often what we do, a little bit wrong, especially when we're starting to like maybe move up on the pricing spectrum and things like that, which we've spoken about recently in an episode. Often, what we can do is that we want to somehow add the kitchen sink. We feel like, oh my God, but if I'm going to charge more, somehow I have to throw more in. It needs to be some kind of bundled, deal or something like that. Or, I just can't charge people that or, whatever, right? Whereas actually the, value does not equal more shit. All right. And I use the word shit very specifically. Do not just throw extra fucking shit in. All right. Like that's not value. So value is, if we can increase the perceived likelihood of somebody achieving their goals while decreasing the time, energy, and effort it's going to take them to get there, that is how you create value. Okay. So value is actually also a messaging and marketing piece. All right. So we want to niche down. We want to go niche 2.0 so we can get even more specific about what it is that we're offering and who it is that we're talking to and how it is that we're talking about, that particular thing. All right. So that we get really key messaging that we can continue to ram home day in, day out. All right. And then we want to be able to communicate to someone why our particular thing, without going into convince mode, but why our particular thing is actually going to increase the likelihood of them, and again, it doesn't matter. Pick an industry, right? It could be, again, it could be coaching, it could be e-commerce, it could be, hairdressing, it could be anything. How is your solution going to increase whatever it is that they are after, all right? The perceived likelihood of them achieving their goal. Now, their goal could be, I want to buy buy a Rolex watch for significance, right? And if I buy a Rolex watch because I'm buying a brand, I'm buying luxury, am I going to achieve my goal of feeling significant? Fuck yes, I am, because I have a Rolex. Right? So that in its own right is increasing the perceived likelihood of them achieving their goal. Okay. If it's weight loss, it's weight loss. If it's, getting a dog bed, right? And the goal is so that my dog doesn't feel anxious anymore. Like if you can communicate in a way to have your potential clientele understand that dog bed is absolutely going to be the thing that solves their problem while reducing the time, energy, and effort they have to put in. All right. Example, weight loss. All right. It's the perfect example. If there was a magic pill, and there are a few around, all right, like that, that people can take, they're out there taking it. Absolutely. Because they want to be able to lose weight fast. Or they want their dog that they love to not be anxious anymore. And so if you have that amazing solution and you can communicate that very specifically as a specialist in that thing, then absolutely you're going to, sell, you're absolutely going to sell it. Right? Same. As I said, it doesn't matter whether, you're a product, all right, a sellable, goods and mortar, item, or if you are a service-based business, that you could be a nutrition clinic, you could be a fitness trainer, you could be an emotional coach of some kind, right? Like all these different services. You could be an accountant. If you want more clients, if you can increase the perceived likelihood of your clients achieving their goal, which could be, if you're an accountant, as an example, reducing anxiety, we should give them the dog bed, all right? Like I, as an entrepreneur, right, in my office, maybe I need an anti-anxiety dog bed so that I can just lay down in the middle of my very busy day. That would make me, as an entrepreneur, feel pretty fucking good, all right? So as an accountant, if if that was your business, and I'm just giving lots of wild examples here so that you can see that this stuff works across the board. You do not get the excuse today of sitting there and being like, oh, I don't know, that's good for them, but not for me. Bullshit. All right? Bullshit. It is good across all, goods, services, products, programs, the full industry spectrums. Okay? Niche 2.0, niche market advantage, the value equation. And now I want to talk to you about one last thing, which is the niche market formula. Okay. So this is really specific to, potentially online marketing and things like that. All right. So let's say, for instance, you have an audience of about 100 people who are your ideal clients. Let's use another niche as an example. Let's say mums. All right, we've got mums is the niche, and let me tell you, that's not much of a niche. That is definitely not 2.0. All right, but we're just going with it. So there are 100 mums. Okay, at any one time, with that audience of 100 mums that you have online, 60 of them are going to be what we call problem unaware. All right, so for every 100 people, all right, or 100%, right, 60% of them, or 60 people, are going to be problem unaware. What that means is they don't really know that they have a problem. Actually, I'm going to use a different example. Let's use like a middle-aged man trucker, who's overweight, diabetic, and, and maybe has a heart problem. All right. Like, and I'm just really, just picking things out of the sky right now. Alrighty. Literally. And so we've got this middle-aged, maybe not so healthy trucker, is a bit diabetic, sedentary lifestyle, whatever it is. Alrighty. And so, if there's 100 of them online, I don't know if they're online, probably somewhere, right? 60 of them are going to be problem unaware. They're like, oh, nah, it's all good. I've always lived this lifestyle my entire life. Like, I've got this. This is my trucker voice, apparently, middle-aged man trucker voice. There you go. You're welcome, everyone. But he's like, oh, no, stubborn, a bit stubborn, right? 60% of them, no problem, don't need to get healthy, don't need to lose weight, don't need to look after myself, just going to eat shit intermittently, while I'm out there on the road and have no sleep, and it's all good. She'll be right, mate. I feel like we all, if you're in Australia, we kind of understand that person, right? So then 20% of people, all right, out of 100 or 20 people are going to be problem aware. All right. And that might be like, oh, yeah, like I probably should lose some weight, right? Like I'm starting to get a bit slow and, and I can't walk the stairs as quickly and that kind of a thing. All righty. 17% of people, right, are then what we call information seeking. All right. And so information seeking means that they know they have a problem and they are actively looking for a solution. Okay. And something that could be a bit of a catalyst, maybe they've gone from problem aware down into the last 3% of people, which is shut up and take my money. And something that can be a catalyst for that is literally like, it could be a health scare. Maybe they had a heart attack, and they're like, fuck, like I actually need to do something about this now. Or they have a parent that dies of like a heart problem. They're like, okay, yeah, like, and because there's nothing like, some kind of adverse life event to kick change in an instant. All right. Contrast and pain. It is one of the, quickest ways that change, you can do change by choice or you can do it by chance. And if you're doing it by chance, often, more often than not, it's pain and contrast that will kick you into, oh, fuck, I need to do something about that. All right. And so niche market formula, again, is across all industries. So I know I'm using, I could use it for mums. I could use it for, I could use it for coaches. I could use it for businesses. I could use it for anti-anxiety dog beds. All right. I could use it for accountants. But at the end of the day, what it simply means is if there are any gaggle, any group of 100 people, especially online, if you've got an audience that you're building, maybe you have 1,000 people. Awesome. 600 of them are going to be problem unaware. They're not ready, they are not ready for change. All right. 20% of them are going to be problem aware. Yeah, I probably should do something about that. The poor dog is stressing out. I think it's starting to lose its hair. 17% of them are going to be like, yeah, okay, we need to find an answer. Like, what can we give this dog? What does that look like? How can we help? Like, all the different things. And then 3% are going to be, as we said, shut up and take my money. Okay. And so when you're out there marketing, we're really marketing to those three levels. The shut up and take my money. It means that there are people ready to buy from you right now. As long as you're putting yourself out there somewhere on the interweb, then there are going to be people who are absolutely ready in that moment to buy. All right. Then there's 17% of people who need to see your content showing up a little bit here and a little bit there. Like we were just talking about, utilizing niche market advantage, saying, hey, I am the go-to person. So me, right? I used myself as an example before. So how do I, a multimodality health professional, who has a lot of experience across multiple industries and is, highly versed within business and is highly versed within business, how do I then take that to another level?
Gorgeous being. It is truly my honor to have you here joining me on this co-created adventure through the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. However it is that you landed here, whether we know each other personally or professionally, whether a friend shared this podcast with you as they thought you might get something out of it, or whether you stumbled across me by sheer accident or divine intervention, I want to thank you for being here and I want to ask you a little favor. It is my joy to do what it is that I do every single day. And so if you have received anything here, a piece of magic, a strategy, a mindset shift, something that has transformed you in some way, I ask that you share this podcast with others so that together we can transform the world for the better. One business, one human, one frequency, and one podcast at a time. Cosmic Money, the podcast. The strategy and energetics of seven-figure business.
So I help people with seven-figure business modeling and high-ticket offers. All right. You come to me if you want to be able to sell high ticket offers. And even more specifically, I generally help coaches. And even more specific than that, I have an arm of my business that helps business to business coaches. So other coaches who are out there, not that want to coach other coaches, coaching coaches ends up being like some kind of pyramid scheme, but as in if they want to target like, if they're a coach and they help people with burnout. And so they want to go after busy business professionals, right? So you can can see how I take this multimodality health profession, and being able to help a wide variety of businesses and business professionals into helping coaches, into helping coaches create their high ticket offers, into helping, B2B as well. All right. And as I said, I do broader than just B2B. So if you are a fitness coach or a, nutrition coach and you simply want more, direct clientele, we help you with that as well. But you can see how that niches down. So generally, if you go somewhere and hear my marketing, and please go check me out, not because you have to come and buy from me, but literally so that you can see this play out. We have very particular branding pillars that we talk about again and again and again. All right. High ticket offers, luxury, like being filthy fucking rich, massive amounts of impact, more wealth in the hands of women because more good is going to happen in the world. Right. We have these branding pillars. And so every time you see a piece of content of ours, you will see that it has some relation to one of these kind of key 5 things. And we say it again and again and again and again. All right. So the 3% who are ready to buy are like, yep, Skye, I'm good to go. Shut up and take my money. I absolutely fucking need help with this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh my God, SOS. Right. The 17% are like, wow, this Skye person seems to know what she's talking about. That's amazing. Like I might reach out to her and find out what it is that she's up to. And the 20% who are problem aware, what we do for them is we basically put a lot of value adding content out there as well. Something like even this podcast, right? This is value adding content. You're learning all of this juiciness so you don't have to be fucking basic any longer. Nobody wants to be beige. You cannot be beige, basic, fucking vanilla out there in the marketplace. You have to stand for something and you have to stand against something else. All right. Otherwise, you will just be a whitewash, and people will just, skim past you. Right? They want you to lean into that fiery passion, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you believe, right? I want you to be filthy fucking rich. You will hear me say that in my marketing because it's real, because I know that if you're filthy fucking rich, then you will go out there and do good things in the world. And in that regard, my mission to unlock greater human potential, right? And, and bring on a mass human awakening. Like, you guys, it's kind of like a selfish thing here. You're helping me with my mission. All right. If you're filthy fucking rich, I trust that you'll be out there making amazing impact in the world. All right. Ain't nobody got time for a basic fucking bitch. Okay. So that is niche 2.0, niche market advantage, the value equation, and niche market formula. Take it, adapt it, go deep into whatever it is that you're doing, double down on your own fuck yes next level success, and watch your bank account skyrocket. Leads on tap, sales with ease.